Last time on Thrift Store Anime, I went to the Savers, and I found a DVD of Princess 9 Doubleheader, which I kept calling Princesses 9 for some stupid reason. But that wasn't the only anime I came across that day. I kept looking through the DVDs, and I came across something called Samurai X. Trust and Betrayal. So, let's take it home and see what this one's all about. Samurai X. Trust and Betrayal. Now, I think I've heard of Samurai X before. The name just kind of rings some sort of bell in my mind. This particular version is the director's cut, so it has to be good. And oh look! It's distributed by ADV Films, our old friends from last episode. On the cover, there's 4 people. I'm guessing they're all samurais. But which one is Samurai X? That's the big question, isn't it? I mean, after all, X is a variable, so it can be anyone. So on the left and right, we have some guy and girl just kind of looking with their swords in hand and stuff. Nothing too exciting there. Then we have some mysterious woman holding a dagger in her hand. Yeah, who is she? Maybe she's Samurai X. Who knows? And then in the front, we have a red-haired dude ready to fight behind a bunch of flames. Then turning it over to the back. Whoa! Man. It's no wonder this thing's 17 plus. I mean, look at all that gore. Look at this guy. He's terrified. Something terrible just happened to him. We don't even know. He could be Samurai X. We don't even know. Who is Samurai X? Is it her? Is it him? Or is it him? It could even be you. Ruthless Hands. Kenshin, a deadly assassin, possesses a soul as worn-torn as the battlefield of Japan. With his bloody work slowly stripping away his humanity, he still hopes for peace. Kenshin finds this hope personified in Tomoe, a beautiful yet mysterious woman who shows him a life beyond the sword. Sadly, she too is torn by ghosts from her past. Can Kenshin and Tomoe save each other? Oh my god, we'll have to find out. Maybe Tomoe's Samurai X! So let's go ahead and open her up and see what's inside. On the right, we have the disc, and on the left, we have the little paper, which has the picture that's the same as the cover. And on the back, we have, oh, more ADV previews. Wow. Wait a minute. Rurouni Kenshin. Wait. I thought this was Samurai X. What? So after doing some research, I found out Samurai X and Rurouni Kenshin are actually the same thing. This particular disc, Trust and Betrayal, is OVA of the series, and is actually pretty much 4 episodes that aired in Japan combined into one movie. So continuing on with the inside, this has that sort of translucent case to where they have, pictures on the inside. And I really like this picture on the right here. I feel that should have actually been the cover. I feel that's a much more interesting picture, and I would have gotten a lot more interested in the series if that was on the cover. On the left here, they just have some more pictures from the movie and the exact same description that's on the back. I'm actually pretty excited for this. Rurouni Kenshin is on Netflix, but I'm not going to watch the series first. I want this film to be my introduction into the series, even if that means spoiling the series. So let's go ahead and pop this in and check it out. I think I might enjoy it. Oh, oh no. Oh god, no. I think I'm gonna be sick. Oh. Seriously though, what the hell is this? They took the 16 by 9 image and letterboxed it inside of the 4 by 3 image. Like, ugh. I guess the only thing we can do is zoom in. Oh god, it pains me to say that. So let's just go through the different zoom options here. And set by program. Yeah, 4 by 3. Nope, that's not it. And we'll have to settle for Cinema Zoom 1. It's the only one that zooms in the image without distorting it. I didn't finish all of Rurouni Kenshin last night, but I'm gonna finish the rest now. But I found the perfect solution. Hello, kitty. Hello, kitty. To the letterbox problem. What we do is we take the DVD out of the PlayStation 3. We walk into the living room and we watch it on my 4 by 3 aspect ratio television. Not quite as good quality as my TV in my room, but it's not going to be that different. Still a DVD. It's a better. Much better. I mean, look at that. Actually, the bigger screen helps a little bit too. It's... Why did I do this last night? Well, I think I need to wash my hands after watching that. I joked about the violence on the box, and I knew this would probably be violent, but look at this screen cap from the opening scene. Yeah, this is much worse than I was expecting. The 17+ rating is justified, and that just makes this show even better. One of the reasons I love anime is that it isn't afraid to tell a story in a visually and narratively different or challenging way. Hollywood, especially recently, is too straightforward. I love and appreciate Rurouni Kenshin for proving this point yet again. Samurai X was actually really good. All the elements that make a good movie are here. The reason why I believe it's so much better than Hollywood movies was that it didn't dub things down. The story is told in a mature way and it isn't afraid to complicate the script a bit. Take, for example, the first 30 minutes or so of the movie. The narrative cuts back and forth between Kenshin's backstory and present. If Hollywood were to tackle this opening, everything in the past would be shown at the same time to keep the audience from getting confused. But this way of telling the story just isn't right. When the story in Kenshin cuts back and forth, it's presented as flashback. When done in this way, it's much more intimate, because it feels like it's coming from the character itself, instead of an omniscient storyteller. Of course, Hollywood does do flashbacks, but they always need to put in a flash or have the whole scene in black and white to tell the audience this is a flashback. Rurouni Kenshin does the same thing with one simple cut. Other aspects of the story were well handled. Halfway through, everything slows down. It's at this moment the OVA switches from an action drama to a slow-moving character drama. If not done right, the whole middle part could feel boring, but to me, while a little slow, never became boring. The characters of Kenshin and Tomoe became the focus. We get to know both during this time. Beautiful animation along with building tension kept this section interesting. The final fight scene, which the middle part kind of builds up to, was quite engaging, and the finale ended in an emotional and satisfying way. But enough about the story. Let's talk about the animation. Another thing that Hollywood just can't seem to get right is visuals. The scene of the crosses on the graves was especially striking. These deep reds combined with the parallax movement really sell this scene. And I have been wanting to see some more Christian symbolism since I finished Evangelion. The animation in this OVA was magnificent. Look at this. It almost looks real. Okay, yeah, that's real footage. At first I thought it was simply in there for budget reasons, but the more I kept seeing shots like that, and the more I thought, I realized they were put in there for a reason. Rurouni Kenshin is supposed to be historical fiction, meaning that while the story is made up, everything is grounded in reality. I think these live action shots were put in not because of budget, but to communicate the realness of the story and setting, as a symbolic subconscious way to tell the viewer, hey, you do know this could have actually happened, right? And now as I talk about the characters, the time has come to answer the integral question of the series. Who is Samurai X? The answer is very clearly the main character, Kenshin. Kenshin is a samurai assassin who was once a slave, but when a group of samurai kill his owners and almost kill him, Kenshin is saved by another samurai. This samurai decides to train and give him a new name that he goes by. That name is Kenshin. So the Samurai X title isn't necessarily a butchered English name. Kenshin could be going by any name, hence the variable X. But yeah, I do like the Japanese title Rurouni Kenshin a little bit better than Samurai X. Fun fact, the name Kenshin is written with the kanji for sword and heart. Thank you, Google Translate. As for how I felt about Kenshin's character itself, I don't know. Most of the movie he was very emotionless and bland. I know he has gone through a lot, but I just wanted a bit more personality. Luckily, towards the end, we do get to see more and more of his sensitive side, and he does become a tad more interesting. The other main character in this OVA was a woman named Tomoe. She's a woman from Tokyo, I believe, whose husband was killed by, guess who? The rest of her character is a big fat spoiler, so I won't reveal too much. From the halfway point on, the plot revolved around her. She really was the key to this story working. If you don't care for Tomoe, you won't care for the story. Luckily, I did like her, and she was probably the most interesting character in the movie, too. There are plenty of other characters, but there isn't much to say about them, and honestly I don't remember enough about them to warrant any having their own section. With all these characters, I was worried that since I hadn't seen the TV show I might be lost, but let me assure you, this is probably the perfect place to start the series. This is actually Kenshin's backstory. It takes place before the series, and now I feel if I do decide to watch the show, I have a neat perspective on the character going in that most viewers probably didn't. This was definitely the best anime I've gotten at the thrift store. It was kind of the thing I've been looking to watch recently. A more dark and serious story. Everything from the writing to the animation to even the music was wonderful. If you're looking for bloody action, give Samurai X or Rurouni Kenshin, however you want to say it, Trust and Betrayal, a watch. I give it an 8 out of 10. Alright, so I'm going to be talking about spoilers now. Skip to this point if you don't want to be spoiled. So while watching the movie again to get scenes for this video, I kind of realized something that I've been pondering over for a while. When I first watched the movie, I couldn't figure out what the top symbolized. I knew it symbolized something, and I knew it was obvious. And I finally figured it out. The top symbolizes Kenshin's old self. Tomoe was kind of a turning point in his life between his old self and his new self. And the top ends up burning in the end of the movie. And that symbolizes the death of his old being and the rebirth of himself and the dawn of a new age for him. And that's all I wanted to talk about. So have you guys seen Samurai X? If you have, give your review in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And for more videos, click that subscribe button. Don't worry, that still wasn't all the anime I found at the Savers that day. So keep looking for the new one. It should be out in a week or two. And while you're waiting for that, why not check out my last video, where I asked the question, is VR the future of home cinema? But until then, see you next time.